people who do grow onions well don't even know why they grow them well.
You are gonna be shocked to hear about this one. Not only that, there's something so... I thought it was about the heat and soil too. We all know Mother Nature's got that sixth sense of humor.
If you're new here, I'm Michelle. I have a science degree and I teach evidence-based gardening.
We're gonna break it right down based on the life cycle of the plant. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what nutrient is going to help them grow a bigger bulb and exactly which one is going to help your onions store over winter.
Let's talk onions. Different ways of growing onions. Obviously, you can grow from seed or you can grow from a bulb, like a set. It's easier to grow from the sets. When you grow from the seed, you're basically growing a set. You have the option of cutting it down and having it as a set for the following year. I grew these onions last year.
Don't trust her.
Right before fall.
Planted those in the spring.
Got my sets here now.
Those are your spring onions. They've been in the ground for a year. You haven't watered them. That's why they're so small.
I should have cured them, but I didn't.
And as soon as the weather warms up, they're gonna bolt.
So this is an experiment now. Or you could have spring onions. We'll get a decent sized onion. It won't be huge.
Don't pick the big sets. Everyone thinks you gotta get the bigger ones. It's not like that for onions. The bigger ones bolt faster. Onions are biennial, so they flower every second year. So if you live in the Pacific Northwest, for example, your first frost date's about April 20th. If you get your seeds started right now, that gives you 10... No, it doesn't. I feel like I dropped the ball on this one for my Pacific Northwesters. You want those seedlings under a grow light as close to the seedlings as you can. If you got a fan blowing on them, remodeling happens, sends a hormonal signal to tell the plant like, hey, we need like a stronger cell wall structure. Yeah, the more you baby them, you're not really doing them a favor.
They're so particular about nutrients. You can't even put them in seed starting soil. You're setting yourself up for failure. If you have a root system and then you got a ton of greens, it's just gonna flop over. First they need to grow those roots, then they need to grow the grown foliage, then they need to grow the bulb. So they're doing all three things that a plant would need, and you're wanting that bulb, but they can't make the bulb without the foliage. They can't make the foliage without the roots. What do roots need? Phosphorus, calcium. What does the greenery need? Nitrogen. They need equal parts potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen. So 10-10-10 fertilizer right off the hop. The more green foliage, the more onion layer you're gonna have. Each one of these green leaves is a layer on my onion.
The sooner you can get that foliage established outside, the better chance you have of growing a bigger bulb.
The problem with growing by set, most of the time they're not actually labeling what kind of onion you're getting. White, red, not actually saying if it's a short day or a long day or a day neutral. Oh, what do you mean by that, Michelle? Basically, if you live around the equator and up to like 36 parallel, you can only grow short day onions. It's just too warm with too short of days. If you are above the 36 parallel, you're growing long day onions. Do you know why?
Because you know what triggers bulb growth? No, it has nothing to do with temperature. I thought it was about the heat and soil too. And it has nothing to do with soil nutrients. We all know Mother Nature's got that sixth sense of humor. And man, she is a sneaky little bit. It's called photoperiodism. And what triggers that to take place is the sun. All based on the type of onion you have. Short day onions bulb when your days get 10 to 12 hours long. Long day onions will bulb when the days get 14 to 16 hour long. As soon as your temperatures start to drop, that signals that onion to flower. Is this starting to make sense? So yeah, unfortunately, when you buy the sets and they're in the bulk section of your gardening store, it won't tell you if it's a short day, long day, day neutral. You don't really know what you're growing. You're kind of just hoping for the best. But if you have a long day onion and your days get up to 14 to 16 hours long, that is what turns the gene on inside your onion to start developing that bulb. It switches over from foliage to, oh man, days are long now. It's time to store our nutrients. It's a biennial. It's going to sit there in the ground in the winter, storing all those carbohydrates because the next year it needs to flower. You know what triggers flower growth? When temperatures drop. So you get your summer when it flowers. It's tricky because the only thing we really have control over if you're growing by seed is getting those seeds started inside so that you can have as much foliage as you possibly can until you hit that long day. And then another thing that we have control over is the amount of nitrogen we're giving it while it's growing that foliage. So you can fertilize it or you can just like throw some compost on there at least every 2 weeks. It's time sensitive to get that foliage. They're heavy feeders. For the bulbing process, control the waters. Too much water, that bulb's gonna rot. You want good drainage, but you never let it go dry. Don't let those cells shrivel up. And of course, light fluffy soil, because if you have too much water in there and there's nowhere for the water to go, stuck in the soil, now you're choking out your roots. There's no oxygen getting to them. You could have all the good bacteria in the world in your soil, but if it's not getting oxygen, what is it to do but go anaerobic? And you've heard me talk about anaerobic bacteria. It's that smelly stuff, the stuff that causes root rot in your houseplant. We don't want that on our onions. At what point in the video did I end up with dirt on my eyebrow?